Welcome, 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 Toolkit Masters. Fantastic to have you. It is Q&A Thursday once again, and we have got a fantastic topic that we're going to talk about today. And it's not only relevant to you in the workplace, but it's relevant to you in a personal sense, with your family, with your friends, in your personal life, doing your hobbies, all those sorts of things. So it's going to be really, really great for you guys to take a listen to this. Probably take half an hour out of your time, so don't feel like we're going to be on here for ages. It's really, really going to be nice, a nice and quick one. So we've got heaps to talk about today. The topic is how to stop the overwhelm and get back in control of your life. So obviously, you know, we all feel outpaced by the pressures of life sometimes. We all get really, really overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that we have to do, with things piling up, with extra pressures. This could be in the workplace, at home. It could be a combination of both, you know, and keeping up with those family obligations and your health concerns and your work and your team and your tasks and your projects. It can all put you into a bit of a daze and get you really thinking, well, I don't even know where I'm going here. So when these feelings start to build up, which is right for everybody gets this. So what we want to do is I want you to employ some of these things that we're going to talk about today. So these are some things that you can put in place really, really simply that's going to help you stop that overwhelm, which will get you back in control and make you feel like, you know what, I can do this. I can chip it off bit by bit and I'm going to get to the other side. This is all good. Okay, so without further ado, I just want everybody to, and we've got some people online. So I'm going to say a little hi to you down here. There we go. Hi from me. So what I'd like you to do is just in the bottom, just making sure I'm on. Yeah, should be. Yep. Bottom right-hand corner, just put in there hi, just put in there how you going, just put there yes, I can see and hear you, anything like that, so that I know that we can continue on. So, all right. Okay, we've got a few people out there. Who have we got on board? Tony, hi, how are you? All right, there's a few out there lurking. That's fine. Okay, so let's go, because I think we can be seen and heard by all. If you have any problems at any stage through this recording, then please make sure that you let me know so that we can fix it up, because we are live. So if you've got any issues with sound, picture, quality, whatever, let me know. We'll try and sort it out for you. Okay, so as I said, we're going to talk about how to stop the overwhelm, how to get back into control of you know, those runaway tasks, projects, pressures, overwhelm, all that sort of stuff. When you start getting that feeling, when you start thinking, oh my God, I can't cope with all this, these are the things that I'm going to want you to put in place, right? Really, really simple things, but things that are going to make a world of difference and get you back in control from the very beginning. It'll take not too much of your time, but it's going to make, you know, the world of difference. Because by the time you're in this place where you're feeling like everything is coming down on you, you're not sleeping properly, you're eating crap, you're not exercising, you're doing all those things, because it does weigh on everything. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. So I'm going to share my screen with you. So stand by. And then I'll be down in this little picture down below. Hello. Okay, so let's have a look. How do we stop the overwhelm? Get back in control of our lives, because let's face it, we are so pressured these days, so pressured to get everything done. All right, so what we want to do, we want to write it down. So I want you to get a pen and paper if that's your thing. I want you to get a laptop if that's your thing. I want you to get your phone out if that's your thing. Whatever your thing is where you write lists, get that out now, right? So what I want you to do is write everything down that you need to do, whether it's the shopping, whether it's work-wise, whether that's task, whether it's, you know, buy a present for your auntie for a birthday, whether it's, you know, get milk on the way home, whatever it is that's on your mind, I want you to write that on a list. Write it down. Really, really, really important, okay? So you're going to write it down on a list, all single lines, okay? So each item will have its own line, because we're going to divide those up in a minute, and I'll show you why. So whether you write lists on paper, which I'm still a bit old school, I write lists on pieces of paper, whether you do it on your laptop, whether you do it in notes, whether you do it on your phone, doesn't really matter, okay? The fact of the matter is you need to write everything that is in your head with regards to your to-do list, put it down on that paper. Now, this does a number of things, right? Number one, it helps you get it off your mind so you don't have to keep thinking about it because you've got it there, so you're not going to forget about it, okay? So then suddenly your sleeping pattern will start to work out better and you won't have all these thoughts going on in your head. The other thing you need to do is for the first hour after you're writing that list, you need to take that list around with you because you can bet your bottom dollar that there'll be a couple of things that you've missed off there that you'll go, oh, I forgot this. So then you can write it in there, okay? So make sure that you write it down and get it off your mind so you don't have to think about it anymore. It's written down. You're not going to forget about it. Not only does this help you get it out of your mind because you know that it's there now, it's tangible, you're not going to forget about it. It helps you visualize those tasks as well. So when you write it down, it helps you visualize them. And then what we're going to do is show you how you can prioritize them. Prioritize them in the way that you can take bite-sized pieces and not have 100 things all happening at the same time. All right, so what we don't want is we don't want you waking up in the middle of the night thinking about what tasks you've got on, thinking about how you're going to fit that in, thinking about where you're going to fit it in, what you're going to do about it, all those sorts of things. This is the reason why we write it down. Really, really important. Easy, I know, it sounds easy, but go and buy yourself a book or do whatever you need to do to make sure this gets done, okay? Really, really important. So we've got it written down. So what are we going to do next? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to divide them into the 4 Ds, right? So you've got your list. Now, the first thing I want you to do is think about delete. So look at your list and eliminate any items that are not absolutely necessary. So if there's things on there that absolutely aren't necessary, like start your Christmas shopping in July or whatever it may be, delete them, take them off your list. You don't want to have to think about those. If you're really hesitating to take them off the list, then take them off that one and put them on a long-term list if you need to. And that could be on a whiteboard or, or a blackboard or a poster on the wall. Put it in your long-term stuff, but take it off your short-term list. So the things you have to do in the next few weeks, take it off there. So delete anything that isn't absolutely necessary. And, people struggle with this particular process, but if the particular task wasn't necessary, why would you have to put it on your to-do list in the first place? Okay, so if you can't make yourself delete an item that's really, really low priority, then move it to your long-term list. So if you've got Christmas shopping in July and you're thinking about it now, this is probably not a time for you to think about that because you've got so much other stuff going on. Take it, put it on your long-term list. And that's something that you can give thought to later on when you've got a bit more capacity to do so. Okay, so if you can't delete anything, just move things off there that aren't necessary to be completed in the next, say, 4 weeks. If you don't have to complete them in the next 4 weeks, stick them on your long-term list and just leave them there. You don't have to give them another thought. You know they're there. You know they're tangible. You know you're not going to forget them, but at least they're off this list here that you're going to have to use and immediately action over the next 4 weeks. Okay, so that's the first one, is delete. Now, this is the one that people have the most problem with, okay? So you've got to be strong with this. Don't leave it on there if it's going to be something that doesn't need to be done in the next 4 weeks. If you've got a task that is long-term, but you've got to bunch it into chunks, leave the small, more recent chunks on the short-term list and put the rest on the long-term list. That's going to be, out of the way. Okay. So we've done that, right? We've deleted all the stuff that's not necessary that we don't need to do in the next 4 weeks. So what are we going to do now? So I tell you what we're going to do. We are going to delegate. Now, this is very tough for some people, and I understand why. Number one, some people have a little bit more perfectionism than others and believe that they're only the person that can do this task at a particular level or standard or whatever. You need to stop being such a perfectionist, because it is extremely fatiguing. You will be exhausted. You need to find a way where you can let go. You need to accept the 90% rule. I'm actually the 80% girl. If something's 80%, I'm getting it out there, right? But if you're perfectionistic, if you can get to 90%, you're doing really, really well. So what I want you to do is offload anything that you can for somebody that can help you to complete it. So it could be somebody on your team. It could be a peer. It could be even your boss. It could be a family member if it's a personal thing. So offload anything that you can to competent help. So somebody that you know can do this. So, so make sure that you have a think about what you can delegate. Now, don't get hung up on the false notion that you don't have time to delegate, because let me tell you, teaching someone else will take more time. You are correct. It will take more time, but the dividends that you get back, the amount of time that you're able to regain from just taking that time to teach someone to go through something is going to absolutely be worth the effort and patience that you put in to do that. So, so make sure you choose the person wisely. They've got to be keen on the task and they've got to have the capacity to do so, not particularly the capability, because that's something that you can give them, but the capacity to do it. And, you know, just make sure if it's something really, really, really important that you just follow up with put some things in your calendar to go and follow up with whoever it may be to say, hey, how are you going with that? Not every day. Let's not micromanage. Okay, so try and have a look at what can you delegate? What can you delegate to your team members, your peers, your boss, your family members, you know, anything like that. Have a look at that list and put the things that you can delegate on a separate list with the names against who you're going to delegate that to. Okay, so that's the second thing you've got to do. And remember, delegation is key, especially if you're a leader. You cannot and should not do everything yourself. You should be able to delegate to your team because it does two things. Number one, it allows you to focus on more strategic, long-term planning stuff that you need to do as a leader. And it allows you time to be able to develop your team. Number two, it develops the capability of your team members twofold. So not only are they doing their job, but they're pushing themselves, they're challenging themselves to be able to do other things as well. Do you know the biggest motivator in the workplace is not incentivized by money? It's not financial. They did studies on this for thousands and thousands of people. The biggest motivator was feeling challenged and motivated at work. So feeling challenged and getting that sense of achievement, if you like, that this is going on. So just remember that. Okay, so what's the next D? So we've got these 4 Ds. We've got delete, delegate, and the third one is do. So this is the things that you've got to do that's on that list that we've written down. So schedule a time in your calendar that you can accomplish the lists, those top priority things. So block time out on your calendar. So you've got the next 4 weeks, remember, to get this stuff. Prioritize them, put them in order, and then try and work out, okay, I'm going to do that for 3 hours on Thursday, and on Friday for 2 hours, I'm going to work on that one. And on Monday from 10 till 1, I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to eat lunch in between and go for a walk around the block or whatever it may be. Okay, so schedule some real good time in your diary. And we're going to talk about making sure you focus on this a bit later, but it is key. Okay, so with do, schedule some time, make sure you can, accomplish those tasks, give yourself enough time. Whatever time that you've scheduled, add another probably 50% to it. So if you think something's going to take yourself 2 hours, schedule 3. If you think something's going to take you an hour, schedule an hour and a half. Okay, so put another 50% on top of it. It just gives you that opportunity to be a little bit more flexible. So if it goes over time, it's okay. You've given yourself that time. If it goes under, you've got some time back. All good. So we've done the delete, delegate, do. What's the 4th D? Is delay. So what you're going to have left is, once you've done all these other 3, the delete, delegate, and do, you're going to have the rest of these tasks. Now, these are items that you haven't been able to get to, you haven't been able to do, delegate, or delete. and they'll remain on your bottom of your list. Now, there's two things you've got to worry about here. Number one, you've got to make sure that they aren't constantly delayed, right? So if those tasks on your list are continuously getting deprioritized, we have to sort of really work out where we can put them in the do, delete, or delegate. What we want to do is we want to put them in one of those three. We don't want to leave them in the delay. So have a look at them now. And if you go, okay, yeah, I need to delay that one. It probably doesn't need to be done in the next 4 weeks, maybe in the next 5. So I'm going to put it on my long-term actions board. Or, do you know what? I don't really need to do that at all. I'm just hanging on to it. But, you know, whether it be, you know, whatever it may be. So what we want to do is anything that you've got left over, you've got in the delay box, try and find another box for them, because you're always going to have leftovers that you can't do, you can't delete, and you can't delegate. So what are you going to do with them? So, so really, really important to examine that list really regularly and make sure it's just not something that gets pushed aside, because suddenly one day it'll become urgent because you've pushed it aside for that long. It could be a uni assignment. It could be, you know, something else. Uni assignment, oh, that's not due for another 2 months. I'll just delay it and delay it and delay it. No, if you've got uni assignment, why don't we take that uni assignment and break it up into 10 separate to-do lists? Do the theme, do the, you know, opening address, do the whatever it may be. Chunk it down into 10, and all of a sudden you can put some in your do, you can put some in your delegate. If you've got a friend that can help you, you can put some in your delete if you think, you know what, I'm not going to need that bit. So have a look at those goals. Can you break them down even further? All right. Now, this is something you need to do regularly, okay? You don't have just one to-do list and you do it all and that's what you do. So you've got your first big list, which would be your biggest one because you've finally got it all down. Then you need to follow up, and anything else gets automatically pulled into delegate, delete, do, or if you've got them delayed, how else can you categorize them, okay? And that needs to be done on a regular basis. Okay, so we've got the 4 Ds. You've done all that. So you're on task here. This is fantastic. You're pretty much on point on getting stuff done. All right, so what do we need to do now? Prioritize and focus. So we've got all our stuff all organized, right? We've got our to-do list. Everything's tangible down. We've got our long-term goals up here. So we don't have to think about them anymore because they're tangible. They're there. We've captured them. We don't have to keep reminding ourselves that we need to do them because they're there. So now we need to focus and make sure that those blocks of time that we've put in our calendar, that we actually focus to do that. So some people struggle with focus because you've got the phone ringing, you've got people coming into your desks and talking to you, you've got, you know, all sorts of things. So you need to try and shut all that out. Shut your door for a while, turn your phone off, put it on silent, do whatever. You know, don't have any emails coming through. Do whatever you can to set yourself up for success so you can focus on what you need to do, okay? You need to focus on what you need to do. Okay, there is an exercise that you can do if you have trouble focusing, and this is a technique that's been around for a very, very long time. But get yourself one of those egg timers or those normal timers or whatever, and you just put it on to 25 minutes, and you say, right, for the next 25 minutes, I'm going to be head down, bum up into this particular thing. You do it, and then the buzzer goes off, and go, right, okay. So I've just done 25 solid minutes on this particular task. Then you can address, can I afford another 25 minutes, or do I need to get up and walk around, or do I need to change something? So if you have trouble focus, just go in 25-minute lots on a timer, and that might help you, you know, working in short bursts, help you with if you've got focus issues. All right, so prioritize and focus. Make sure you prioritize those things in your calendar and focus as much as you can on getting those bits and pieces complete. Now, if you've given yourself 3 hours for a task, you thought it'll only take 2, you've given yourself 3, it's actually going to take 5. That's okay. That's okay. Do it for the 3, then take the 2 hours you need extra, add another 50% to make it 3, and put it in another day if you get the chance to do so, okay? So don't stress out. These things happen. It doesn't mean you need to drop the ball and go, this is not working for me, hallelujah, I'm not doing it anymore. No, this is a learning curve. We're all going to have to make little tweaks along the way and go, wow, that was a bit silly of me to think that. I'll know that for next time. Okay, it's all a big learning. It's okay. Everybody that has done this has had to tweak and massage things as they go. So that's just a normal thing. Okay, so what else do we have to do to make sure that we can stop the overwhelm and get yourself in control? The other thing is take care of you. Okay, so if you enjoy your morning walks, go back and do your morning walks. If you're not sleeping properly at night, really address that, because lack of sleep, there's been heaps of studies done and it is absolutely debilitating. So make sure that if you've got all your lists down and everything's captured, that should help that with all that stuff going in your head. But look at some natural remedies as well, you know, whatever you might need to do. Making sure that you're getting the exercise you need, making sure you're eating healthy. Okay, so that slight bit of organisation, if you organise yourself and do some bulk dinners on a Sunday night or whatever night your night off is, freeze them, and then all of a sudden when you get home, you don't have to go via the takeaway. You can grab it out the freezer. You know it's home cooked. It's all good. So just try, if you possibly can, to take care of you, because in these times of overwhelm, it is so easy to forget ourselves and what we need to survive. Okay, so make sure you're getting the exercise you need. Make sure you're getting the sleep and rest. Make sure you're keeping your body hydrating and drinking lots of water, and just look at the nutrition. Because these 4 things, if you can focus on those 4 things, it will help you with your mental health as well. Okay, so taking care of you. And I think we've got in here, remember, take care of those around you. So what I'm saying here is when we get into that overwhelmed state, when we get so overwhelmed with tasks and priorities and pressures and all those sorts of things, we tend to become quite introverted in ourselves and in a bit of a rut. And we don't really want to be spending time with other people because we're not in a great mood ourselves. We know that. So what I want you to think about is, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff until 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever it may be. And then after that, I'm going to let it go because I want to spend some time with my mates or my kids or my partner or whoever it may be. Okay, so not only take care of you, but take care of those people around you and allow them back in your life and enjoying their company. Really, really, really important. Okay, so spend time together, you know, with your family or friends, get something to eat, relax, watch a movie, do whatever you need to do to be able to get some downtime as well, because that's really important, not only for your own well-being, but for that of the people around you as well. All right, I think that's all we've got for today. It's been really good, isn't it? So just as a quick, I'm just going to go over these really, really, really quickly. And while I'm going over these really, really quickly, we've got quite a few on the line now. So if we've got any questions out there, then please don't hesitate into letting me know, okay? So remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling like all the pressures of the world are on top of you and you want to stop that right now, you want to get control back, number 1, write everything down. So everything that you have to do, pay that bill, do that task, do that project, get that birthday present, whatever it may be, write a great big list of all the things you need to do. And each particular item is going to have its own line. And then we're going to separate them into the 4 Ds. We're going to delete anything that isn't really important, right? So anything on there that you don't need to do in the next 4 weeks, get rid of it. If you can't get rid of it completely, then put it on a long-term action board, whether that be on a whiteboard or a poster on the wall or whatever it may be, okay? But get rid of it off that list. The list is only for the next 4 weeks. So delete. You want to delegate anything on that list that you can give to a teammate, a peer, a work colleague, a family member, whatever. What can you delegate off that list? Don't be perfectionistic. Other people can do just as good as you in some of this stuff. So make sure you delegate. Number 3, do. Which are the ones that you have to do? Whatever you have to do, put them in your calendar and prioritize them. So 3 hours on Thursday, I'm going to work on that task. 4 hours on Friday, I'm going to work on that task. 2 hours on Monday, I'm going to work on that task. Okay, prioritize and focus in and make sure you do that. And the 4th one, the D, is to, what did we say? Delete, delegate, delay. So whatever you've got left on that list. Once you've delegated, deleted, and done, the last one is delay. So you'll have some things left over. So have a look. What do they mean? So if it's uni assignment, break that up into chunks so that you can then put it in the do, delegate, or delete. Put something on the long-term action planner if you need to. Do all those sorts of things. And then, of course, we have to prioritise and focus on those. Look after you. Make sure you're eating properly. Make sure you're getting your exercise that you need, whether that's walking the dog or going down the beach or whatever. Work on any hobbies you love to do. Hydrate. Make sure you're eating and doing all those things to keep yourself in a physical well-being state. Because when you're physically well, that helps your mental well-being as well. And then the last one was look after the people around you, the loved ones, your family, your friends, the people that really care about you and might be worried about you right now. So make sure you spend time with them, relax, watch a movie, go to the shops, have something to eat, whatever it may be, okay? So those are the things. They're not hard. They may feel hard, but they're not hard. So give yourself a day to say, right, I'm going to do this. And you know what? It'll only take you about 2 hours. But give yourself a day, and then all of a sudden you've got all that extra time left to do whatever you like. Go and have a nap. Go and make yourself a nice lunch. Go and have lunch with your friends, whatever it may be, okay? So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I'm going to stop the slide presentation now. I'm back. So I hope that helps. Has anyone got any questions? Got a few people on the line. Has anyone got any questions? Flick's got some questions. Hi, Flick. How are you? Learning to delegate to my husband has been awesome. Well done, Flick. Well done to you. And you're an attention to detail lady, so that's great. Once I got him paying the bills, he realised how much work it was involved. Yes, how much it is, absolutely. And the accounts are under his name, and he set up the whole auto debits. So now neither of us have to pay the bills. Fantastic. There you go. A whole task taken out, which can take up so much time. Well done, Flick. And this is something that you can share too with not only your workmates on how you've done things easier, but also, you know, your kids as well. So teach them how to do things the smart way, not the hard way. So that's fantastic to hear, Flick. Well done. All right. I think that's all we've got for today. I hope that helped. The topic of today came from an email that I got from someone that was really feeling overwhelmed. They had so much on their plate. Honestly, it was ridiculous. And they were feeling like, you know, it was getting to the point where they just wanted to walk away and shut the door and not come back. So we don't want to get to that state because it's really not a nice place to be. So if you put these few actions into place, you'll find you'll start getting back control. I hope it works for you. I hope you give it the time that it deserves. It makes a world of difference. So let me know how it goes for you. And you can contact me on ask@teamleadertoolkit.com, or you can go on the Facebook page. Go on the Team Leader Toolkit Facebook page. If you are in the unlocking portal at the moment, we've got a special unlocking VIP Facebook page for you. So make sure you're on that and we can have a chat there. All right. So without further ado, if you've got any questions for me, send them through at ask@teamleadertoolkit.com and I can make them into a webinar with your permission, of course. And we also get back to you within 24 hours. It's usually within 2 or 3, but we say 24 just to cover ourselves. Okay, so without further ado, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your week. We will see you next week on Q&A Thursday. Well done, Toolkit Masters. Great to hear from you again today. And I will speak to you soon. Take care. Cheers. Bye.